I have done some investigating in my family, and you know, throughout my childhood, I always sat there like, oh damn, why can't I be like, you know, like these little sweet white kids? They're all happy and shit, you know, just like live their life. But I realized my mom didn't live that life. Like my mom put me through a lot of craziness, and I also did craziness too. But I found out through asking my great aunt and my, you know, elders what happened when she was younger, and she went through a lot of trauma back, you know, back in the days when she was a kid. She actually had to take care of her younger siblings when she was only like 10 years old and had to be the mother. So there was a lot of things that she missed out and was abused in, like blinded into when she was a kid. Even my grandmother that was doing that to her, because she was actually the lightest skinned person in the family. My grandmother was very racist and was abused her and did a lot of stuff towards her. So there's a pattern. There's a pattern through generation. It's almost genetic. So as we're the young ones, and and somehow my mom calls me for emotional support, and I'm like, I'm the kid. Okay, why is she doing that? I realize it's like, it's up to us to break that cycle, to stop that continuance, because it's just gonna keep on going till we hurt our children, then our children's children. It's up to us to stop it, because everyone else has just been speaking so much, and they can only speak so much to the point, just like Abe said, what are we gonna do about it? We gotta do something. Instead of talking about it, let's do it.
I want to jump right over that. There's a movement, it's a Native American recovery movement called Wellbriety. And there's a piece that transcends all that, and they talk about so much of who we are is made up of old messages, old tapes, and old feelings. You know, much what you talked about. And the thing is, and when it comes up, and that stuff comes up for review, because it's so much of how we were formulated as young people. The change is possible, but the first is to be able to recognize that. You know, we talk about recognize, avoid, and cope. And the thing is, you recognize it, and we spend a lot of time trying to avoid it. But now you cope with it and deal with it in the best way. And if you know me another 20 years, I'll be saying the same thing. You got to talk about it. You got to bring it out, you know, out the shadows and bring it out into the light. And talk about it. And talk about, you know, my family. Nobody in my family would talk about anything. I used to say, you know, I was like, I thought we were like some Secret Service and stuff, because nobody talked about it. And so we thought as kids that everybody lived like that. You know, we'd see the cops come, my cousins and I, we'd be like, yeah, because, you know, and they would come in our house, and we didn't know. And because we weren't allowed to talk about it. I remember one time my dad was passed out, and I was a little kid, and I said, Mom, what's the matter with Daddy? She said, don't you ever talk about it. You don't talk about it to anybody. My mother's a great woman, but they were fearful. So we got a lot of bad messages, and out of that, a lot of bad feelings, unhealthy feelings, because it wasn't allowed to be talked about. So, and I go now, some of those old tapes come up for review even to this day. Now I know because I spent a lot of time working on it and talking about it, but they come up for review. So there are no bad people. Or, you know, it's hard, be hard pressed to find a bad person. But, you know, we get formed in a certain way, and the longer it goes on, untreated, it becomes normal for us. And you know what, this is how my family rolls. I don't know any better. So the opportunity, and think about opportunity. We have so much opportunity. Every day we're presented with opportunities. Not like these big miracle things sometimes, but they're little things. And we have to make decisions. So you can make decisions not based on those old tapes, but based on, you know, what you know now, knowledge. You know, like Abe talked about it. What did you say? You learn more and you get paid.
Yeah, the more you know, the more you get paid. The less you know, the more you get played.
So we don't want to get played, you know, we want to learn.
What happens when you don't have that message, or even yet, when you don't have that kingdom to protect?
I think you got to create your own kingdom. And I think it's kind of related to what folks are talking about. I'm just thinking over here in my head. And the best way I can try to answer that, I guess, is like my father was killed when I was young. You know what I'm saying? So, and he was awesome. He did his thing. You know, I love that dude. He, to me, did no wrong. You know, there's no such thing as bad people. Maybe a little lost, but I don't think there's, you know, really evil people out there. They're just kind of confused. But I just remember, you know, it was real jacked up. You know, no kingdom, bullet hole in the floor for like 10 years. Crazy. She was insane. You know, but I remember bumping into really awesome people. You know, and it was so inspiring just to see beauty. You know, because my house was jacked up, you know. I saw a lot of things. But when I saw beauty, I was like, it exists. So when I confronted ugly, I was like, nah, I'm about that beauty. So, and I mean that beauty with a conversation that you have with a person, somebody that inspires you, okay? A song, you know. Maybe you got an uncle, you know, or maybe a coworker or a friend in school. They're like, wow, you're beautiful. And you just follow it, man, as best as you can. Now, I'll tell you what, and if you ain't got no kingdom, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You know, you're going to fall on your face, you know. But I tell you what, it's a blessing or a curse. You know, I think sometimes the ones that start off with no kingdom, when you do get your kingdom, it's that much more blessed to you, man. You're like, yeah, I've been there, you know. And now I'm way over here. Oh, it's cool, it's gravy. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, you feel me? So I'm kind of on that time, you know. So if you got no kingdom, make your kingdom. Find a way one way or another.
One of the things he said that stuck with me, he was like, rehabilitation means to bring back, to rehabilitate again. He was saying that the issue is that most people have never been rehabilitated in the first place. You know what I mean? And that the issue is that the foundations weren't there, food, clothes, shelter, and learning how to care for yourself because no one showed care, like some of the poetry that we heard today and some of the stuff that you guys were talking about. So I just, hearing that word, it's like, it's not about bringing back, it's about actually building up, taking away the stuff that's been conditioned in the head, like you were saying about brainwashing, and then rebuilding that sense of self.
It's been a great conversation. Thanks everybody for participating. People will be around afterwards to talk, but let's have James take us away with another one of his poems.
It does exist. I'll do this one. I was battling what else I'm gonna do, but I just do this one. It's called accountability. This is what you do. Nothing ain't working out, man. You just tell yourself, sometimes things, they just don't go my way. This ain't nothing new though, and it damn sure ain't nothing I ain't already been through. Just gotta suck it up and go through the emotions. Ain't no need to get all stressed out, flip out, then cause all kinds of commotions. Whatever's gonna be is gonna be. Faith is some things hope for, and right about now, that may be just the thing that I may need. You know something? Everything out there that smell like a rose, it ain't always a rose at all. The quantity of manhood is measured not by the strength between his legs, but behind the face of adversity. Always come correct, always have the capacity to stand tall. Does it mean that I just give up? That I just take this here fall? I don't think so. That ain't the answer, that definitely ain't the reasoning for this message at all. Life is just that, it's what you make it. Faith can move 1,000 mountains, just sometimes you still may need to just fake it. Does it mean that 24/7 you walking around out there delusionally elated, unrealistic rationalization, that question's unanswered and that answer's still debated. All I know is that right about now, me personally, I thank God I'm still creating, challenging all the mental script in my head, because in this mental script sometimes I'm still hated. Into the methodical madness out there to which I stand unfaded, let truth be told, when all is said and done, I'm gonna be one of the ones that makes it. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes things don't go my way. Ain't nothing new though, cause tomorrow brings about is always a new day. A new day with a new fight. Glittering stars that shine in the night. It's like an educated woman with a mentality that's tight. She's dominant in the daytime, yet submissive to the night. Captivating vision, captivating sight. Sometimes I'm wrong, yet this time I'm right. Faith is an action. It's not some type of hype. It's like Ishmael on the altar and Ibrahim with the knife. Choices you make today, them the choices that affect tomorrow. Choices made correct, you diminish a lot of heartbreak, pain, and sorrow. Ain't no place else to go just now, and to be honest with you, my thoughts beginning to roam. But if I leave you anything at this moment, in this place, right here, right now, within the Carriage House, Everett Stage Theater, I leave you my blessings and the gift of my self-expression, written in the form of these poems, and let you know that without a shadow of a doubt, he does exist. So, man.